Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. And today we're going to talk about a particular city in Sweden. Now, this is a reference to one of my polls that I made a while back with regards to whether you guys want a video on Finland, on Iceland, or any certain particular place in Sweden, be it the city or countryside or region, whatever location basically. And so I figured, why not I make a little series out of it? Meaning that every now and then I'm going to do a little surprise video. I'm going to randomly choose a city, and you guys don't know what city it is or what place it is before you obviously click on the video, before you start watching the video. And once you start watching it, you'll find out, logically speaking. And I figured today for a start, I'll choose Kiruna as the northernmost city of Sweden. And there are a few particular facts that I would like to talk about today and just kind of get to know the city a little bit better. And maybe that's also one way to help me or to help people in general get to know a country in their liking by learning little details, learning different sorts of regions, geographical locations of that particular country. And maybe there's some kind of nuanced information you might not know. Even as a Swede, maybe you might have not known before, and then you will know. So stay tuned for the upcoming 5 little interesting facts. So as I already mentioned, Kiruna is the northernmost city in Sweden. It's located right above the Arctic Circle, making it Sweden's most northern city. It's also known for its spectacular views, the Northern Lights, and it's also famous for having almost 24 hours a day daylight or no daylight, depending summer or winter. And that's not just for Sweden, but also other places like Finland, northern Norway. Basically, all the regions that are above the Arctic Circle have almost no light. And honestly speaking, I've never been to that kind of place before. The most northern place I've been was probably Tallinn and Oslo, Stockholm. So I haven't really gone further up than that. So it'd be really interesting to see or to experience this kind of, almost 24-hour cycle of daytime or nighttime. But I've heard a lot of people are incredibly depressed when it's night, meaning in winter, when people have to endure this long darkness, and it puts a lot of mental pressure on its people for sure. Now, the second fact I think some of you might know, and I talked a little bit about it briefly about Norway, is the Sami people and its culture. So Kiruna is situated in the heart of Sapmi, the traditional homeland of the Sami people and an indigenous group in the Nordic region. The area has a rich Sami culture, and visitors can learn about their traditions, language, and reindeer herding. Now, Sami people are not only in northern Sweden, but also in northern Norway and Finland, and maybe a few other little regions here and there. So, but basically, this is where the Sami people are located, and honestly I've never really encountered any Sami people, any indigenous people from this particular place. So I would really love to go there one day and explore that region a little bit more. I've never heard of their language as well, so I'm pretty curious how they sound or what the language is even really about, which language group they belong to, and so on and so forth. So this is one particular thing that makes Kiruna a little bit special in some ways. Now, the third fact is actually a pretty interesting fact, and I really didn't know that, and I'm not sure if many of you might know or might not know, which is the city relocation. So due to the expanding iron ore mine beneath the city, Kiruna is undergoing one of the world's largest urban relocations. The city is gradually being moved about 3 kilometers to the east to ensure the safety of its residents while preserving the heritage and character of the town. So one question that I would have here is, how exactly are they relocating the place? Are they simply adding on more real estate towards the east, or are they actually demontaging all the buildings and places they have now and just kind of building new ones? Or how does this gradual process go really? Because I've never really heard of this in particular where they gradually relocate a city, so to speak, but I guess because of the expanding iron ore mine beneath the city, they're forced to relocate gradually. Of course, not in one go, but over time, of course. So let me know in the comment section what if you guys know anything more about that. The fourth one is the so-called Kiruna meteorite. Now, Kiruna is famous for a large iron meteorite that was found in the area. The Kiruna meteorite is believed to have fallen to Earth thousands of years ago, and pieces of it have been studied by scientists to learn more about the composition of meteors and the early solar system. Now, honestly, I've never heard of that as well before. It would be really interesting to find out more about that. And obviously, Kiruna is not the only place that has fallen meteorites. There are other places in other regions of the world that have been discovered and studied thoroughly. But for a place like Kiruna, for sure, a little city, I'm not sure how big the population is, but I think compared to most cities in Sweden, Kiruna is in fact a much smaller city and less, let's say, less populated, less, there's less traffic, let's say, overall traffic. There's not much to do really, so to speak, other than, a few businesses here and there, some interesting sights to see and so on and so forth. So for that kind of place, it's obviously very, significant and has a lot of meaning, and this is something what Kiruna is probably kind of proud of, I would say. And the last fact is obviously the abundance of wildlife. So, and that's not just Kiruna, but also many other places. Kiruna is basically surrounded by pristine wilderness, home to a variety of Arctic wildlife. You might spot reindeer, moose, and Arctic foxes, or even catch a glimpse of lynx or wolverine. The area is also a prime location for bird watching with species like the golden eagle and the Lapland owl. So there are a lot of unique animals, let's say, in Kiruna or in northern Sweden in general. And this is something that I hope that Sweden preserves its animals, its wildlife. I certainly do not want to see further urbanization of Sweden. And I really love the wildlife. I really love nature and the forest and the mountains and all of that. So, and to conclude, overall, honestly speaking, Kiruna does sound kind of intriguing to me. Now, why did I specifically choose Kiruna today? I chose Kiruna because I've heard of this city, this place, quite a while back. And because it's like it's like the northernmost city of Sweden, I figured it would be, because I guess a lot of people don't like the extreme cold, being super far high up in the north, and considering the daylight and the night and all that, the winter and the summer time and so on and so forth. I figured a lot of people are kind of driven away from it. So I guess that's what kind of attracts me more to kind of explore the place that people don't really necessarily want to go there. It's not like the hot spot of Sweden or something like that compared to Stockholm or Göteborg and so on and so forth. So I kind of got intrigued by that fact, I guess. And I guess someday I'll definitely visit Kiruna. I assume they have an airport there. I have to check, actually. Not entirely sure, but I guess besides going by train or by car, it's pretty far to go all the way up there. It will take maybe a day or two. Not sure how far it is from, let's say, Stockholm to Kiruna. So I think overall, definitely worth considering going to Sweden, going to Kiruna in particular. One day after I would explore all the big cities first, and then I guess I can go into the nuanced places later on. So yeah, I think that kind of wraps up the short video for today. I hope you guys enjoyed the little idea I have with regards to making a little series of which of the unknown place that I'm going to talk about and about Sweden. And yeah, let me know in the comment section down below what you think of Kiruna, or if you have any further suggestions, any places that I maybe should talk about, but obviously I won't tell you when. It's supposed to be a secret, obviously, but you can still feel free to share your favorite places, locations of Sweden you've been there or want to go. And yeah, as always, I'll see you in the next video and hope you have a great day.